So we came till how to create branches for our application. The branching strategy we learned. Okay, let me repeat it again. Okay, usually whenever we create any repository, right, for your code to maintain our code, to maintain versions and history, right, and to manage it or to review it remotely and to control the code from the direct mergings. We will use version controlling tools. So we thought of using Bitbucket, right? But yeah, I'm not at there. But yeah, I will create repositories in Git today. Okay. So this is the branching strategy that you can follow. Okay, first, whenever you create repository, by default, the main repo you will get. Let me show you that. I created one, Git account. If you want to create, you also can do that. Just github.io will enable you to create an account. So if you want to create, maybe if I log in out here, I can see. So here you have option for sign in. You can create a account here. You can create a Git account. So what all you need is you need one email ID, create one Gmail ID and put here. And when you go next, right, it will show you the steps. What password you want, what is your Git name. Okay, so that will prompt you. Just first you need to enter your email ID. Then you need to click on continue. Already I have this email ID registered, so not allowing. But when you enter a new email ID, right, it will show you steps. Once done with that, you will be, coming to this repository page. So here you can see a lot of options, your repositories, your projects, your code space. During creation, it will ask, are you student or teacher, or is it for a professional access? You can select professional access free account. Okay. So here you can create repository. When you click new repository, am I logged out? Yeah. I hope. So here I have credentials and password. You can create new repository. Click new. It will ask a repo name. Okay. So I'll be creating starting with admin module. Okay. Admin service. Okay. Admin service I wanted to create here, and I'll make it public access. Okay. Or else if I put private, only I can access it. I'll put public so you guys also can access. Create repository. So one repo is created. So this is your repo. So initially when you create, it is showing you setup in desktop and pull this code using this SSH command and asking you to create a new file. If you want to create a new file, you can create a simple readme file. Okay, one readme text file also created. Now here you can see the main branch. The branch which is already created is main. So as per our discussion, the first branch it will start with main. Now you can cut your branches from here. Okay. You can cut branches. Under main, I'll create a prod branch. So you can create branch here. Find or create new branch. Let's say prod. Create branch from main branch. When I do this, what will happen? Whatever source code I have in main, right? The same files I will get here. One text file was there, right? In that main, same text file came here. I can create from this branch, I can create one more branch, UAT, create it from prod, create branch from prod. So this is the hierarchy that I am maintaining here. Main is the the first and foremost branch. From it I created prod from this UAT and SIT for testing. So for SIT parent branch is UAT. For UAT parent branch is prod. For prod parent branch is main. And for integration testing, I wanted to create dev branch. Now these branches are common for every developer. These all branches are common for every developer. Now sprint got started. Consider your sprint got started and you have stories to work. Your sprint started and there are some features added, feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, feature 4, feature 5. So when you want to work on it, let me create here Zira. So this is Kanban mode, right? This is Kanban mode. What do we have in log? Excuse me, nothing is there. This is RBU team Kanban mode. RBU card. Ah, okay. So in Kanban, we can, this is not like sprints, right? Yeah. You can have all the stories here and one by one you can take it into in progress, then you can move it into a review. If you want to add one more stage here, right? You can add. So review if you want to do, you can add here. Maybe you can move that here. So each story you can create into do. So if you want to start it, when I assign this, right? Let's say I'll create skeleton code for admin service. Okay. And in this story, I'm asking to team create a skeleton and I'm asking to create a repository for admin service with all branches following branching strategy. Is it gone? Okay. Now, if the story, if it assigned to me, unassigned, let me assign it to me, or let it assigned to Navin. So it is assigned to me. I need to start working on it. So now I created all the repositories. So during working, what I can do, I can move the story to in progress. Okay. Now during sprint call daily, let's say now the sprint call is started for us. Okay. So when Scrum Master asks me what you are doing today, I will tell him I'm working on creating repositories for admin service by following branching strategies. So my story is in progress and I don't have any blockers, which means I'm okay to continue working on it. Of course, estimations also we do here only. Let's say estimations not given, right? You may edit and give estimations also. So configuration stuff given, what you want to add here. Actual start, actual end, uh, due date you can add, start date, story points. But bus, because earlier we don't have, as they given admin permissions, I can able to edit it. Usually your Scrum Master used to have all these permissions, required options you will add. Now see here, we need to put when this story is getting started today. Due date, when it should finish. Let's say you want it for 3 days. You need to give due date. And when actually you started, when you finished. That you can pass there. And story points, right? After estimations, if you think, excuse me just a minute, session start. Yes. So the meeting ID is last 3357 only, right? Okay. So let's say three story points required for this 2 days estimations. Story points also you can add. Via this configuration option I am setting it, but usually developers will not get this option. Maybe your Scrum Master will have, he will do the setup. So three story points given and it need to start on 11th. So what I will do as a developer, it is assigned to me. I can move it into in progress. Now when you open the story, right, it will show status here in progress. When this is in to do, you can see to do status. So directly you can move here or else by editing the story, you can change it to in progress next stage. That's it. So now the story is in progress. As per the story, I started working on it. Here for this task, I started. Task is created in my Jira. So I moved it to in progress. So we worked on it. End of the day, if you want to pass uh, how many hours you worked, that is also not there. You can add it. Um, time spent actually, that is time spent. Impact compass. Time, so time tracking. This is simple window. Maybe this is evaluated version, right? We don't have much option, but time spent also they will give. So end of the day, what you can do, you should able to update how much time you spend. Let's say, let's say for daily, generally they will consider 7 hours or 8 hours or 9 hours, depends on the company. Generally for us, for our case, right, 9 hours they are billing. So 9 hours we will add here like we spent so and so day. Today, if I work for 9 hours, I'll update 9 hours here. Okay. So overall, I need to spend 11th, 12th, and 13th. So for 3 days, 9 hours I need to update. So that end of the week or end of the month, they can calculate how many hours all the developers work. Okay. Maybe using graphs, they can able to track how much efforts we put so far. So that option not given here. It's okay. You will be seeing that option also here. Now once you've done, okay, it is asked to create all the branches. So I created it, all the branches. So we created one project admin service. So by default, it came up with the main branch. This is default branch. From this main, I created prod. From prod, I created UAT, UAT to SIT, SIT to temp. Now, the second story, I need to start working on it. So this repositories task is done. Now, create a skeleton code for admin service. They asked. Okay. And the story number is RBUK4. So this is done. Consider you need to send it to review. So team will review your repository. I'll show to the team. This is how I created. If everybody is fine, I'll close my story. So when they say okay, fine, I'll move it to done. End of this, 13th September, I'll move it to done. But we finished it quickly. Maybe efforts we make it 1 day or 4 hours of efforts also. Now it is asked to create a skeleton code for admin service. Now I will move to in progress. Now for this story where I should work, where I should start working, I have these branches. One of this branch you need to pick to start your code. So basically, you have access to dev branch, okay? So you can start working from dev branch. Instead of working on dev branch, what else you can do is you can create one more branch with your story number. Okay, so my story number is my feature name is RBUK4. This is my feature name. So using this feature name RBUK4, right? You can create a branch. So easily I can able to track. If Scrum Master want to see the code, they can able to find each branch which is created with the story name, right? And you can see the code also. Create RBUK4. RBUK4 is my feature. That feature branch I am creating from them. So now one more branch got created RBUK4. Now this branch you can clone. Now this branch you can clone. So just you need to copy this and from git CLI you can clone this or using HTTP also you can clone. I want to start working on this RBUK4 branch. Okay. So what you can do, ecom application. You need to install our git CLI here. Git CLI software you need to download. Okay. Expand all. You can download Git CLI, all the instructions given in Git, or else you can just Google it, Git CLI. So let's GitHub desktop. I think this install the CLI, or else you can get direct Git CLI also. Okay, you can download Git CLI. So in that Git CLI, what you can do, you can clone your branch. Use command git to clone and put this with your branch name. Hyphen hyphen branch space. My branch name is, what is my branch name? RBUK4. RBUK4. Okay, I think this is correct, right? Now copy this complete command here and going into git bash, paste this command, enter it. So it is cloned successfully. Which branch it is cloned? Your RBUK4. Directly I cloned my RBUK4 branch. So whatever code you have in RBUK4, right? That code you got into your local. So you got admin service here with a readme file. Okay, nothing is there in that readme file. Now from here your coding will start. You pull the branch. Once after you code right, whatever files you have added as part of your project, all that files you can commit here. Okay. Once you do any change, let's say here I added some class files or some folders here. Okay, I'll be adding one new folder or packages. Okay, folders or packages. So many things we add right as part of the code, resources, and some files I'll be creating within my project. Now, to one folder, one file is added. Consider you created some classes. Okay. So once done with your changes within your, you will be getting this code into your Eclipse, and there you will continue work. And finally, once your code is done, go to repository and use this option, Git GUI option. When you open Git GUI, it is showing you created one folder. Within the folder, you created one text file. You just need to move that text file here, and you need to apply commit with the commit message by saying I have or I completed a story RBUK 4 and commit. That's it. You need to click on commit and push it so that your code will come and sit here. Whatever code you have completed so far. So now we thought of doing admin service, right? We will start working on this service. Okay. So initial skeleton asked you to create right as part of the story. Initial skeleton asked you to create. So we will create skeleton first. As per our architecture, right? We have repository that is cool. As per our architecture, we need we need one admin backend service. Okay, first working on this admin backend service, this one. Okay, now I wanted to choose technology stack here, right? What technology I need to use? Simple REST based application is enough for me. Simple REST service is enough for me, which should have capabilities to call from gateway or from UI, and the service should able to access configuration from cloud, and the service should able to connect with the database. Okay, so to meet that all capabilities to this admin service, okay, I need to create a spring boot project which is having database access and which is giving access to front end also. And during testing as a developer, as UI team is not yet started, I need to test my admin service once after I code it. So here what else services I may require, that all we identify here now. I need to create admin service project. Admin service Maven project I need to create. Create a Maven project. How you will create when you want to work with Spring Boot? My option is Spring Boot here to work on this backend services. So there are two ways to create your project. There are two ways to create this admin service project. Okay, in Maven. The first approach is use starter IO, Spring Starter IO. This is one recommended website. There you can create your project. Okay, so this is one recommended way to create your project. How you can create? Just choose which language you are using here. Is it the Java or Kotlin or Groovy? And which build tool you are using, Gradle or Maven? I'm not much into Gradle, okay? Since I'm using Maven, I choose the Maven only. And which Spring Boot version you want to use? I'll pick, These are the latest versions. Okay, if you go with latest versions, they will allow only Java 17 onwards. Let me pick 2.7. And what is your package name throughout your applications? What is your common name? com.rbu. That's it. Or you want to put something more? You can add here. And what is your application name? Ecom. Sorry, admin service. This is my application name and artifact ID also. That's it. Now, do you want to execute this finally as a jar or var? Okay, which means once you're done with your application, right? Once your code is done, everything is done. When you want to deploy it in your Linux, I told you to. I will be using one Linux machine, right? VCS. I'll be using one Linux machine here. In that Linux, if I have Java, that itself is sufficient for me. If I have Java here, JRE, that is sufficient to me to run my application. Once after your admin application coding is done, right? Your admin service coding is done, or admin service, how you can deploy it as a var or jar. So you can easily deploy it as a jar also. Admin service dot jar generates finally. Okay, you can place this jar file, Java archive file. You can place this jar file directly into your Linux server, admin service dot jar, and you can run by using simple Java command. By using simple Java command, you can start your code. As Spring Boot itself, it will provide Tomcat also. You need not to download any Tomcat and install. Just JRE is sufficient in your Linux. Okay. So finally, I want to run my application as a jar file. I want to run my application as a jar. So choose jar here. Choose jar here. Package naming convention. I don't want this. Maybe I put com.rb.rb. And which Java version you want to use. Java 8 is more than sufficient to me. So Java 8 I chose. Apart from this, what dependencies I need to add? If you guys already aware of, about Spring Boot. The first foremost thing that we add is web dependency, Spring Web. This will allow you to build REST-based applications. Okay, build web including RESTful applications using Spring MVC. Uses Apache Tomcat as a default embedded container. So what it is saying, you can build a web application, you can build REST APIs also using MVC concepts, or else Spring Boot concepts you can use to build RESTful services. And by default, it will use Tomcat as a embedded server. Choose it. This is the first important thing that I need. Okay, so that my application can run on any JRE like a Tomcat, code. Now I want to connect with the Oracle, so I want to add Oracle driver. Okay, you can add that as well. And I want to add DevTools, Spring Boot to DevTools. So during development, what it will do, live restarts, live reloads, it will do, and configurations support it will provide. Add DevTools and actuator. I want to add actuator supports built-in endpoints that let you monitor and manage your application. Okay, such as your application health, application metrics. You can watch your application health using actuator. So when you want to see your application is down or up, is it running or not, you need not to test your application using actual URL. By using actuator also you can verify whether your application is in live or not. Okay, you can add this also. Spring Web to connect with the driver, database driver, DevTools, actuator, and for testing, okay, testing UI, automatic generated UI it can provide. If you can add Swagger here, Open API or Swagger. The dependency not given. Open fin client not required. Okay, we can add that additionally from here or swagger mode. No, okay, I will add it. So this four dependencies so far is enough for me. Later we will add cloud client or cloud config, all the features. So once you add your required dependencies, okay, first to choose Java with Maven, choose Spring Boot version, put your package name, okay, group name and package name. Group means for all applications I'm going to use same group, and this is my package name. Finally, I want to generate it as a Java. Using Java 8, I want to code it. That's it. Click on generate. Yeah. Jar is very easy to deploy. Then where? Tell me if I have a var here. Tell me if I have a var here. What I need in server admin service dot var. Can you deploy var directly on Java or you need Tomcat? We need web container, right? Tomcat. So what I am saying, even you don't need Tomcat, two softwares need not to install in your Linux. My application is a simple application. If I generate it as a jar, it is having already embedded Tomcat. Okay, embedded Tomcat I have. So that Tomcat is sufficient. Inbuilt Tomcat is there along with your WebJar file. Okay, along with your web dependency. That itself is sufficient. Why I should install in my Linux machine? I need to install JRE. On top of it, I need to install Tomcat, class path, everything I need to set. That is not required. Have simple Java, JRE software, and your database software. Plus, Tomcat is not at all required. Embedded Tomcat you can use. Okay. Yeah, Windows also fine. Yeah, you know, right? In Windows, better than Linux. You go to run and run it, right? Sorry, you go to CMD and you can simply put your Java hyphen jar, your jar file, right? When you run it, it will execute main class from your jar file. Maybe your jar main class name you will give here and enter. So then immediately will start your application. The same thing we will perform it in Linux also. We go to Linux and execute this command. Okay, using putty we can connect and we can execute whichever commands you want. So then it will start your application, whichever port you have mentioned, right? That on that port it will run. So you can access it by using your Linux machine IP port, IP column port. You can access your application. End of the day, we can run our application on internet, and this you can integrate with your domains. So simple jar is sufficient. So when I click on generate, what it does here, it created one project. It created one admin service project. You may extract it. You may extract it as a zip file. It is generated. You may extract it, and you can see a basic code is generated with one POM file and the source. Inside source one test package and main package. Inside main you have Java package. Inside Java you have com.argu.admin. So here one class also it is generated by default. One class generated for you with at the red Spring Boot application. Okay, default structure it is generated. So from here how you can take it forward, just to use your STS or Eclipse, anything is fine. Import as an existing Maven project, place your application path, browse it, finish. So initial skeleton of your project is setting up now. So it is importing Maven project taking some time. 46% is done. You need to wait until this import is completed. These are all step-by-step procedures, right? Directly, we never create project and work. Once you got stories, you need to create branches. From there, you need to pull your code, whatever latest code you have. On top of it, you need to start working. As of now, this is where we started first. No code is there. If there is a code, then you need to pull the code. You should work on the existing code only. Okay. So it is importing 46%. So 76. Okay, once import is done, you can add this server port, whichever port you want to work in your local, and add your database URL. If you are working on MySQL, you can use this. If you are using any cloud URL, let's say you are using RDS from AWS, maybe you can put that AWS database link here. Okay, it depends. Later we will see, okay, how to create RDS and how to use it. In local, if you have, excuse me, you can add your local URL, username, password, and your driver, and which dialect you want to use. You guys understand, right, about dialect from Hypermed session. Based on dialect, it will understand which database you are using. So you need to add your dialect, and for connection code, if you guys know how much waiting time you want to put. If connections are busy, you can put that waiting time here and query time 1 second. And you want to create tables automatically. And if you want to alter also your tables automatically, you can use update. Generally, I don't recommend you to use it. Make it validate. You may make it validate. Okay, you can validate like this. But if you are curious to see how automatic tables created, you can keep it updated. Okay, we talk about this later. Now, you need to keep the similar parameters, okay? So, I need check this model. Okay, these are hierarchical properties. I'll be using hierarchical only. Okay, let's check if your project is imported. My application name is admin-service. Here it is, admin-service with the default code generated. One Spring Boot application class and one properties file with nothing here. Just adding this code. What is your data source URL, username, password, and your driver, and which dialect you need to use, RT10G dialect, Spring Boot application name. So about profiles we talk later, okay? Profilings and cloud config. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, in your Linux you need to install. Even for testing it in local you can. Or else you can use in memory. But To realize right how Oracle works, use Oracle only here. Install Oracle 10G. I'll share it with you. Okay, just a second. Oracle 10G. 10G. I don't have. I'll find it. Okay, I should have that link somewhere. I'll share it with you. You guys can download and install it. And the port number, server dot port is equal to something 9090. Yeah. You can use central config server, I said, right? So as per architecture, for all these configurations, later I'll show you, okay, how to do that. But if you see as per architecture, I was referring earlier also, right? Managing all the configurations, inside each application is difficult because microservices count continuously will increase. In that scenarios, maintaining passwords, let's say in future passwords are changing for all the applications. I need to go each application and manage them. Or if some other properties are changing, port numbers are changing, I need to disturb my services. Instead of that, you can have a central configuration server. There you can do all the configurations. So you will be having access to it. So as an admin, you can access it. You can do your configurations here. Still, people are doing what you know. Again, in this cloud config, they are integrating it with vaults also, private vault. So Azure vaults or AWS vaults, right? That vaults configuration they do in cloud config. Cloud config through you will get that configurations into your service. Okay. So yeah, we will not show them directly. We can hide them by configuring via uh, cloud configuration server. Yeah, yeah. Right. See, having YML or properties is your choice. Okay, to configure your properties here. Okay, consider this is like YML only. Or do you want to see YML here? Just right click and convert. Where is it? Convert to properties to YML. Okay. See now, your properties converted to YML. Just it is an alternative for your properties. Whatever you can do in YML, you can do it in properties also. Okay. Same stuff. For each environment, if you guys learn through profiles, right? For each environment, we will have different set of port numbers, different set of configurations. Consider here this is my development server. Here I choose the different database URL. My database is different here, right? If it is a dev server database is different. So this database username passwords must be different. If you consider this entirely, this is dev environment. Once done with the testing in dev, you need to move this to from dev to next environment, right? Here this DB URL is different, username is different, password is different. So this DB URL username password only you will have in this code. While deploying it, we say while starting it the environment name we pass it there. Then from your application YML file, it will pick dev properties only. So how many properties we configure in YML or properties? Dev properties, SIT properties, UAT properties, and the production properties. These are profiles we call. Correct. Profiles. Correct. So we pass our profile. Hmm. We have we have two ways: use properties or YML. Again, here coming to properties, you can use one properties, or for each environment multiple properties file. Coming to YML, create one YML for all the properties, or maintain different YML for each sorry, for each environment. You have two approaches: YML, properties. No issues, use anything. Okay, for DevOps convenience, we people are using YML. Okay, or else both are same for us. Okay, YML is not different from our properties. In YML, this is how they put the structure. Server dot port, they will use server colon. Then here they will put tab spaces. One, like how Python work, right? Here also they have some tab spaces. So it will be part of server. Then Spring Boot dot application dot name. Then Spring Boot dot data source dot DBCP dot max wait milliseconds. Then DBCP dot validation DBCP dot. Just imagine, create the properties file and convert it to YML. You can see how that structure is changing. Okay. Now from YML to properties you want to do. Oh, vice versa we don't have. If I do, oh, undone is not possible. It's okay. Use anything, okay? No issues. It will consider both application.yml and as well as application.properties also. Where I am. Okay. We talk about this, okay? Profiles concept, we talk about it. So as of now, I created a basic skeleton of the project. Okay, I have that project here. Just, uh, just we will say hello world and we can close it. Run this application. If everything is good, it need to start it in 9090 port. Hopefully, let me see my luck. Will it start or not? Is it started? Ah, started. Started application in port number 9090. As of now, nothing is there in that port. Localhost 9090. Yeah, your application is running because I can able to see white label error page, which means your application is there but no default pages. So if you want to add any default page, right? I hope in static core templates, where should I add index.html you can create. I have put in templates, right? And I wrong. But my application is REST based application. I know I don't need any UI here. Admin hyphen service. Now it's okay. This pages should load. Admin hyphen service is my application name. Correct. So with that name only you can able to go. I'm not sure if it is not working. Fine. Check at least actuator. Actuator is up and running. Admin service slash actuator. Yeah, actuator is up. So you can monitor health. So it is up and running. Now if you want to create any test controller, you can create here. Just a simple controller writing. Hello, admin controller. Put at the rate rest controller. And let's have a method here, public string hello world. You can put at the rate get mapping slash hello. You may have here hello. So you got your output. I mean, this is a simple method. So from tomorrow, what we can do, we can implement this admin service and we will commit our code. Okay, step by step, we will implement our use case. Okay, for this service, we should write the code as per our use case. Okay, so that service needs how many tables, right? How to create controllers, what input parameters I should accept, which is coming from front end, right? That all we will start coding. Okay, so far that's it. We learned how to create repository as per our standards, and we created basic skeleton of this project as per the stories assigned to me. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. We will start more in depth into coding tomorrow.